So over the past 1 year, or up to closer to 6 months or so, everyone's talking about Liverpool right back Trent Alexander-Arnold. So his contract was running out, and Real Madrid is knocking on the door. Should he leave Liverpool for Real Madrid, or should the Scouser in the team stay? And I wanted to hold off this video for a while already, but I guess the latest ongoings, especially the news yesterday that Real Madrid has went up a notch above in actually discussing contract talks with Trent, prompted me to write up, to talk about this, and why I feel as a Liverpool fan, we should not feel too bad about this, because growing up as a Liverpool fan since I was probably how old was I? I was 12. It was around 1996. Quite old actually. I've seen my fair share of Liverpool players, idols, heroes who left the club for, I wouldn't say greener pastures, but for somewhere else. From Robbie Fowler, who was my first, my hero growing up, and then seeing Steve McManaman leave, and then the likes of Luis Suarez, Fernando Torres, and even Steven Gerrard, and even more recently Jurgen Klopp, who brought success back to the club after such a long hiatus, leaving the club. So as a Liverpool fan, seeing our idols and icons leaving the club, it's not something new. Probably fair weather fans who just came on board the hype train in this past 5-6 years, this is something totally fresh for them. But I assure you guys, this is not the first, and this won't be the last. But the way I see the situation is that there's no point for Liverpool to keep a player who doesn't want to stay. And to a certain extent, this goes towards Virgil and Mo Salah's contract talks. But it feels a bit closer to home. I wouldn't say closer to home because I'm not from Liverpool, I'm from Malaysia. But it feels a bit, it stings a bit more, because this is Trent Alexander-Arnold, a Scouser in the team, the vice captain, the player who we feel will be regarded as, put on the same level as Steven Gerrard, or even, to probably Steven Gerrard, Robbie Fowler. There are a lot of Liverpool legends and icons, but there are very, very few players who are put on a position where they are deemed as legends. And this is Trent. Always considered him to be, expected him to be a Liverpool lifer. And for him to potentially leave us for Real Madrid on a free stings a lot. I read somewhere yesterday on Twitter, or was it on Threads, about how Alexis McAllister, knowing that he's been garnering so much interest when he was playing very well at Brighton and even winning the World Cup, signed a contract to make sure that Brighton gets something back when he leaves. Trent could have done that. If he knew that he wanted to go to Real Madrid, he could have signed some sort of a contract extension to at least, Liverpool get something back. I mean, that's what the words are going out. But maybe if you think about it, we aren't actually losing much when we lose Trent, because we never bought him. Yes, he was an academy player. We developed him to be one of the best ball passers in the world. I will not call him one of the best right backs in the world, because who are we kidding? But yeah, we pay a lot of salary. His salary is pretty high. His salaries, and Virgil and Mo, are astronomical. So him leaving will definitely open a lot of, spending cap for us. Spending money. But it sucks. For a player at that caliber to leave for free is the same reason how we lost Michael Owen, if I'm not mistaken. McManaman on Bosman ruling. So there we go. However, as a Liverpool fan, I would think if we didn't have a good backup for Trent, I would feel even worse. But the fact that Conor Bradley is playing very, very well and he's still very young gives me a lot of hope. And the fact that Trent excelled under a different system. He excelled under the Klopp system. Yes, he played pretty decent under the new Arne Slot system, but if you think about it, his influence on the game is not as much. Liverpool are not as high pressure as, which his pinpoint passes are actually going to help contribute the team on offense side. He has shifted much more towards the middle where he plays, he tucks it right in when we have the ball. So, yep, if you are basing him based on his deliveries, yes, we are losing someone there. But based on the system that we are playing right now, this is a different team under Arne Slot. This is a different system which is trying to build around very, very solid midfield. Is Trent a better right back than Conor Bradley? Very close. Or Conor Bradley is even much better than him. Trent is one of the best passers in the team, but we don't lack great passers in the team. We have McAllister, we have Sobo, and Mo Salah has gotten to that point where he is not just scoring goals, he is creating goals. So this is a totally different system that we have in Liverpool right now, moving into the new season, and this is an Arne Slot system. So from a tactical standpoint, losing Trent as a passer, yes, any team will lose. I'm not saying we can afford to lose him. That's not what I'm saying. But he is, if it was still Klopp and then losing Trent, yes, that would be a big blow to the system that we have. But losing Trent under the Arne Slot system is a totally different scenario. And when it comes to think about it, who Liverpool, intend to get to replace him, I think that whoever that slot goes for, I would trust him. I mean, yeah, we barely have a season under Arne Slot, but the way he's transformed the team to where it is right now, I'm very excited to see where things go. As for Trent, if he stays great, we have a very, very good option to bring into midfield. I think even if Trent stays, I think his next step is not to play as a right back, but actually move in as one of our main midfielders. I like what we're having right now, but I'm not a fan of playing McAllister every match in and out. That dude is gonna be worn out so quickly. I don't want to turn him into another Thiago, injury ridden. Even if we keep Trent, I would still think we should get a good backup at right back. We need a solid backup at left back. I think Herkes from Bournemouth is one of the standouts. And we definitely need a proper number 9. But if you think about it, this is moving on towards another position, I don't think we need to buy a number 9. But instead, we need to get a replacement for Mo. Even if we keep Mo, we need to buy a number 9. Because I feel in this position right now, we should have a very good finisher. We should have a very, a sharp guy to lead the line. And we already have him. His name is Mo Salah. Name me a better finisher in the Premier League than Mo Salah right now. So change Salah, put him more in the middle. I'm sorry, Darwin Núñez, I like you a lot, but for Liverpool to move forward, we need someone who's more clinical up front. I would actually spend the money probably on a very, very solid inside winger on the right. I like Musiala, but I know he's out of our range. We should really, really go for Wirtz if we could. But then again, that's for a totally different video. So back to Trent. 2 scenarios. One, if he stays, as I mentioned just now, still get a right back. Let him play in the middle as an option in midfield. He can always be a utility guy where we need someone in right back and our right backs are not doing well. We can always slot in there. But if he goes to Real Madrid, which is, I think that will be the end of his career. I hope I'm wrong for his sake, but I would not wish him well based on the circumstance if he actually ends up in Real Madrid. Because Trent is a system player. He worked well at Liverpool because the system allows him to work well. Going to Real Madrid, I find it hard for him to, on a defensive sort, to replace Carvajal. I read a few days ago Carvajal is back. And if he wants to slot in the middle, who does he replace and where does he play? Or is he just happy to be a rotational player in Real Madrid? The way Ancelotti plays Real Madrid is just putting all the best players that he could and just let them do what they want. Mbappe finds a way to slot in Real Madrid. Vinicius on the left, you want to put Mbappe on the left, find your way, sort it out. and thinking Trent might be thinking, oh, he might be able to play with Bellingham in the middle. But the way Madrid plays is the fact that they have a very strong core in defense, which allows the forward players to they don't need to track back. Of course, he doesn't want to track back. Trent isn't known for tracking back or actually being an asset in defense. So I would still be interested to see how he plays in La Liga. Then again, going to La Liga, he might win trophies. He'll definitely win more trophies in La Liga. He's just going to be playing how many good matches in a week in leagues. He's going to be playing at Barcelona, Atletico, maybe Bilbao. So that's 6 matches in a year, in a season, where he's really tested. No disrespect to La Liga, but I mean, come on. All right. So if Trent stays, great. I feel that we have a very good option, a very deep midfield core, and he can also be our, but he should not be our first choice at right back beyond this season. And if he does leave and he goes to Real Madrid, I'm more of a Barca guy, so you know where that's gonna go. So that's what I think. And the last bit about people talking about Liverpool losing money by losing Trent for free, it goes more than just buying and selling players, because he was from the academy. It hurts more towards the sentiment and any goodwill he has towards Liverpool fans and Liverpool supporters in general. And the way he's conducted himself, not a fan of it. But anyways, what do you think of the Trent Alexander-Arnold transfer saga? Appreciate the comments and your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like what the content is about, appreciate the subscribe and like. This is a new channel which I've started to talk about football. As you've seen, I have reviewed, I've talked about football boots in several earlier videos. This is another form of content that I've always wanted to create, to talk about football and in general Liverpool. So till see you guys again.